remember me, 'cause easily I forget. Easily I forget.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Scott Elise J, and I am back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Over here we are all about self-love and self-discovery and leveling up and becoming the best version of ourselves. So if that is something that you are interested in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, okay sis? And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Over here we're about to be buckling and knuckling down, okay, on getting our lives together. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing how to be more confident even when you feel like you shouldn't be, okay? And I'm the perfect person to be able to talk about this because a lot of times I forget who that. A lot of times, I'm trying not to curse y'all, but a lot of times I forget who I am, okay? I forget who I am, and I have to remind myself of that often because sometimes I be moving like I don't know who I am, and it has been times where I've got myself into situations where I had no business being at because I simply just was not confident, okay? So I no longer operate in a small, insecure headspace, and now I'm able to navigate through life as the queen I should, because if not me, then who, okay? So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So the first thing I did to become more confident was I had to get to know myself. And by getting to know myself, y'all, this might sound like a little cliche or whatever, but I really took the time to get to know myself. And in my last video, I touched on how I wrote down all the positive qualities about myself, okay? So what you want to do is you want to get you a journal. If you haven't already gotten you a journal, you need to get one, because a journal basically just keeps you from telling everybody your business, first and foremost. And for second, it's like a personal memoir that you can go back and remember how you was feeling that day. So I love my journal because when I write down positive things about myself on days where I might not be feeling as confident or as positive or as optimistic, I can go back in my journal and I can read how I was feeling one day, and I can be like, oh, yes, girl, yes, okay, because we didn't forgot who we was today. So I suggest getting a journal so that you can keep track of your thoughts, so that when you lose sight of what you're doing it for, you can go back and read it, okay? So get you a journal and write down all the positive things about yourself, okay? And whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling some type of way, go pull that journal out and read those positive things about yourself and remind yourself of who you are, okay? So that is my first tip. My second thing that I did when I was trying to be more confident was I took a feminine archetype quiz, okay? So I took this feminine archetype quiz on a website called womenlovepower.com. It is a website that was created by this young lady. I forgot her name, but she's no longer with us, so rest in peace to that young lady. But she created this website where you basically can learn your feminine archetype. So I took it upon myself to take the feminine archetype quiz. I recommend every woman to take this quiz, okay? Because y'all think y'all be hitting on something with them zodiac signs. Okay, them zodiac signs don't know nothing about you, okay? Take this feminine archetype quiz, and I guarantee you, it'll tell you who you are to the T. So the quiz is about 100 plus questions long. They're just quick questions, kind of like when you are applying for a job and it gives you like that personality quiz. It's the same concept. So it's basically like a personality quiz that you take, y'all. And when I tell you, when I got my results back and I was reading what type of feminine archetype I was like, okay. Because listen, I know y'all like, well, what is your feminine archetype? So I'm going to give y'all a little bit of tea on what my feminine archetype is, okay? So The feminine archetype that I got back is I am the goddess. Okay, I'm the goddess, and I'm a mix between a lover and a mystic. So basically what I learned, she gives you celebrity examples of who you can compare your archetype to. Okay, so my celebrity example of who I was similar to was Halle Berry, Sade, and Sabrina Claudio. So I was so hyped when I read that, because when I tell you, Sabrina Claudio is one of my most favorite, like top 5 artists of all time. I love Sabrina Claudio's music. Like, I vibe with her for real. So this really just hit the nail on the head. So just to give y'all a little bit of rundown on what to expect, my feminine archetype is a goddess, with, you know, traits of the lover and the mystic. So I appear otherworldly, like a mythical goddess that came to life. I appear extraordinary and above the quotidian and banal. So basically what that means is ain't nobody like me. Nobody on this planet is like me. All right. I'm not the expected. I'm the unpredictable. Okay. I'm not what you used to, and I'm not what you ever gonna get again. Okay. So I'm rare with a deep internal focus. So I'm very spiritual and in tune with my intuition. I'm a natural introvert. I appreciate solitude. I'm a dominant lover who enjoys attention and connection, which I garner through my appearance. So that is very true. With me being of taller stature and me having a really cute face, you know what I'm saying? I attract attention everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too many places I go where people don't break their neck to look at me. Okay? Because, you know, I'm an Amazonian, and I'm already rare. To be of this stature, to be a stallion like this, it's already rare. Okay? So everywhere I go, people are going to look. My home is a sacred place, and it's my sanctuary, and I have a soulful, sensual presence. My grounded energy makes others comfortable. And while I'm distant, I'm also very enchanting. I'm like a star, sparkling from light years away. Very few can get close enough to see my more human qualities, but everybody can see me shining. All right. And I appeal to a man's instinct to dream. I have warm siren energy and cool mystic energy, which creates an emotional vacuum that consumes people. All right. So in my absence, my presence looms longer. And this is the power of the goddess. All right. So once I read that, I was like, ugh, can't nobody tell me nothing, because it was already stuff I already knew about myself, but just having it confirmed boosted my confidence, because the things that make you the most unique and that make you the most alluring and that captures people's attention the most about you, 9 times out of 10 is going to be the things that you kind of feel ashamed about. Because I'm not even going to lie, like, I always felt ashamed about how my energy, a lot of people always just tell me that I'm effortlessly sexy. And I used to be offended by that, because it was like, I'm not trying to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be, you know, I thought that it was a bad thing, but it's really not a bad thing, because that's just what makes me me, that what makes me unique. And I started using the qualities about me that I was ashamed of to kind of get what I want. And it worked out for me in the long run, because I am more confident at the end of the day. So I really do recommend you taking a feminine archetype quiz. The website is called Women Love Power. So go in there and take your feminine archetype quiz, because once you find out how, you know, what type of feminine build that you have and what are your personality traits, that will help you be more confident, because you will start to embrace those things. And that's what I really like about the website, because it definitely allows you to embrace the things about yourself that you always felt kind of timid about. But the thing is, to be more confident, you just have to embrace everything about you, okay? Flaws and all. Embrace every little thing about you, so that if somebody else tries to come at you with something, it's like, okay, I already know that, and I stand in it. I live in my truth. That's me. So what? So why? All right. So that's literally one thing that really boosted my confidence, because when I tell you, I used to feel some type of way, because I used to be like, oh my God, like, you know, why does everybody treat me like this? Or I don't want to be looked at like that or like this. But bottom line is, honey, this is who I am. Okay. This is who I am. I'm a bad mama jamma, period. Okay. And I talk like an old person, y'all, but you know, I just started embracing that energy about myself. I used to make myself feel bad because, you know, I had this type of introverted energy where I only want to be bothered when I want to be bothered. And I kind of like made myself feel bad for being that way. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with preserving your energy for who you want to preserve it for, okay? Like, there's nothing wrong with being exclusive. There's nothing wrong with being mysterious, okay? I pride myself on being mysterious, because everybody is not going to know everything about me. All right. You gotta put in some work, okay? To become more confident, you have to imagine yourself as a fantasy. What I mean by fantasy is that you have to imagine yourself as somebody larger, or something that is larger than life, okay? Something that is beyond somebody's grasp, okay? You have to imagine yourself as something that is rare, that nobody has ever seen or experienced before. If you walk around with that type of energy, if you believe that type of energy with everything that you do, then other people are going to believe it too. So you have to see yourself as something larger than life. You have to see yourself as somebody that is extraterrestrial, out of this world, rare, you know, something, a eighth wonder of the world. You have to see yourself beyond the basic, okay? You have to think so highly of yourself that you don't even see anything beneath you, okay? That is how I picture myself. Like I had said earlier, I am an Amazonian queen, okay? I'm 6 feet tall. I walk around as such, okay? And I get treated as such because I know I'm rare, okay? I know that there are qualities about me, the things that make me who I am. Nobody else has those qualities, and nobody else can be me better than me. So whatever is meant for me will always be attracted to me. So I don't feel insecure about anything or anyone else going on around me, because everything revolves around me. And that might sound kind of conceited and you know, kind of out there, but when you have struggled with being insecure and not having confidence, you don't have time to be humble. You don't have time to be humble. Yes, you should be humble, you know, you shouldn't be rude to people or anything like that, but the type of mindset you have, the type of energy that you have, you need to, all that humble stuff, save that for later, okay? The Lord knows your heart, okay? The Lord knows that you are a down-to-earth person, but in order to really be extreme and really have extreme confidence, you don't got no time to be humble, okay? You have to picture yourself as a fantasy, something that somebody can't get all the time. All right, something that somebody can only dream about. That's who you have to picture yourself being. Another tip on becoming confident is that you have to move gracefully and untimidly, okay? Your actions, your demeanor, the way that you move, the way that you operate, it should always, always give off alluring energy, okay? Because when you move with grace, okay, and you move untimidly with your head held high, you don't look at the ground when you walk. When you enter a room, you enter the room like everybody's been waiting on you to arrive, okay? When you enter every single room as though everybody in that room has been waiting on you to arrive, it creates a sense of desire to get to know you, and it just makes people want to be around you. So make sure whenever you enter a room, you command the room as though everybody in the room has been waiting on you to arrive. And also, when you are confident, when you want to be more confident, you have to remember that there is value in scarcity. And what I mean by scarcity is that you need to feel like a hot commodity, okay? You need to feel like a rarity to people, okay? You need to be like the few thousand pairs of Jordans that he releases every once in a while, and people have to wait in line to try to get to you, okay? You don't want your energy and your whole being to be so easily accessible to people, okay? Because when you are so easily accessible to people, it's like you're trying to prove your worth to people. And when you do a lot of over explaining and overdoing things, it gives off the vibe that you're trying to prove yourself. And when you're constantly in a state of trying to prove yourself, you're not confident in who you are and what you bring and what you have to offer. So you should never try to sell yourself to people. You should always sit back and read the room and always be an observer more than a presenter. You know what I'm saying? You should always want to observe more. One thing that makes people draw more into me is because I easily already know that I can be the center of attention if I wanted to be. I already know I can be the center of attention in any room that I'm in if I wanted to be. However, when I'm in a room full of people, I tend to be more laid back, okay? I'm friendly, I'm nice, but you're not going to get too much up out of me. Okay, you're gonna have to bring the conversation to me if you want me to participate. I'm not going out of my way to be the center of attention because I know I don't have to try hard to be the center of attention. So when you're constantly trying to, be the presenter and be the life of the party and everything like that, it gives off like you're thirsty and you don't get much attention at home. Okay, but when you are the observer in the situation, you just sit back and you read the room and just see what's going on. People are going to wonder why somebody who's looking like you over there being cool, calm, and collected, they're going to want to come over and be like, what's up with you? What's good with you? You know what I'm saying? So that is one way to be more confident to me, is that don't always try to be the center of attention. Like, just chill, bask back in your own energy, and don't be so thirsty to be proving yourself and telling everybody every little detail about yourself to try to like sell yourself to people. Okay, if you got it going on, you don't have to wear a sign on your forehead saying that you got it going on. It's already obvious. Okay, you don't got to state the obvious. Okay, and that kind of goes into another thing too. To be more confident, you have to pay attention to your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay, don't spend too much time dwelling on what you don't have, trying to, improve things that you don't have. Focus on the things that you already do have and make those things better. Because nobody is going to be 100% perfect all around, okay? It's easier to perfect the good qualities about yourself than it is to perfect things that are not already that great about yourself. Say, for instance, if you know how to dress really well, you have really great fashion sense, but you're a little overweight. Okay, you got a little fupa, your stomach hang over your jeans, you gotta tuck your stomach in a little bit. Okay, I know, cause I gotta do it sometimes too. Okay, so but you could put that ish on though. Instead of you sitting here beating yourself up, crying yourself to sleep because you overweight and your stomach hang over your jeans, and you gotta and make it do what it do. Instead of crying yourself to sleep over that, put that ish on, okay? You know how to dress. You know how to dress it up, make it look real nice. You know how to like camouflage and cover up stuff. So put on your Sunday's best, and you better act like you on a catwalk everywhere you go. And people are going to notice how well dressed you are and how well put together you are versus worrying about you having a little bit of extra meat hanging. Focus on the things that you are already good at and perfect those things instead of worrying about things that you're not that good at and beating yourself up about it. Okay, confidence is all about embracing the best parts of yourself and knowing the greatest parts of yourself and putting that on display. You don't want to just have your flaws on display. And one big thing about being confident as well is that you need to get rid of the ego. Okay? And I know you're probably like, okay, how am I supposed to get rid of my ego when you told me earlier in the video to not be humble? Listen, your ego is literally the voice in your head that is always telling you that you could be better than this, you deserve better than this, or you're not good enough, or you should be here by now, you should be doing this by now, you should be on this level by now. Okay, it literally kills your confidence, y'all. Okay, your ego is a confidence killer because your ego literally never lives in the present moment. Okay, your ego is either always living in the past or living in the future. And when you're too worried about the past, that creates depression. And then when you're too worried about the future, that creates anxiety. And it's no way in the world to be confident if you're always worried about what you used to do, who you used to be, what you used to look like, or you're too worried about what you could be doing, what you should be doing, what you want to be doing. Okay? You need to be in the present moment and embrace and be grateful for everything that you have right now, because right here, right now, in this second, you can't snap your fingers and change it. You can make steps towards changing something. That's the only thing that you can do, is take one step closer to changing something in this present moment. But other than that, it's nothing else that you can do about it. So whatever that you are dealing with right now, you have to embrace what you are dealing with. And you have to let the ego go, because the ego is there to try to convince you that whatever you have going on right now is not good enough compared to what used to be and what is to come. All right? So your ego is literally just false identification of your mind. So it's just making up stuff. Okay? It's just making up stuff. Your ego is sensitive and it wants you to believe that everything isn't what it seems. Okay? That's what your ego is there to do. So in order to be more confident, you have to totally separate yourself from your ego. I said this in my last video. When it comes to that voice in your head, you have to look at that voice in your head as somebody else. Okay? You have to look at that voice in your head as somebody else, something else outside of yourself. So when that voice in your head get to talking to you crazy, if a friend was to talk to you the way that you negatively talk to yourself and say the things that you negatively say to yourself, would you still be friends with them? Would you listen to them? No, you wouldn't. You would ignore them and you wouldn't want to talk to them no more. Your ego is not your friend. Okay? Your ego is a confidence killer, sis. All right? So thank you so much for tuning into this video, and go ahead and like this video so that other people who might be struggling with this same thing can, get the tea. All right? And, y'all know y'all my homegirls, so I'm never going to hold nothing back from y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning into this video, and I will see y'all the next time.